Here's everything you need to know about the most important race in the world. 1. Polls have no clue who will win. The polls can't decide who will win, Republican Roy Moore or Democrat Doug Jones. 538's Nate Silver argues that this drastic change in poll results stem from two fundamentally different ways of polling. The first involves robocalls, in which computers automatically call a prepared list of potential respondents. Gravis Marketing, the Trafalgar Group, and Strategy Research are some of the organizations that use this method exclusively. There's also another method that relies on volunteers or staffers reaching out to potential voters on an individual level. They can be more precise because they're allowed to reach respondents on cell phones, but they are much harder to finish and often result in a much smaller sample size. Polls that use this method tend to support Doug Jones. 2. There are serious allegations against Roy Moore. So far, 6 women have come forward with sexual harassment allegations against the Republican. Moore's response has been to deny that any of these occurred, adding on Sean Hannity's radio show that the alleged behavior, quote, fell outside of his customary behavior. There have also been a number of smaller scandals involving Moore's wife, including her most recent assertion that the family cannot be anti-Semitic because one of their family lawyers is Jewish.
One of our attorneys is a Jew.
3. Republicans and Trump largely don't care. Voters just don't seem to care about Roy Moore's alleged harassment. President Donald Trump has doubled down on his support of the Alabama Republican multiple times through Twitter, a recorded robocall that went out to targeted voters in the state, and this incredible speech in support of Moore.
We want people that are going to protect your gun rights. Great trade deals instead of the horrible deals. And we want jobs, jobs, jobs. So get out and vote for Roy Moore. Do it. Do it.
The Moore campaign published a list of 52 faith leaders that support him, and the largely white Republican base remembers his strong stance on conservative issues during his tenure on the state Supreme Court. 4. Black voter turnout will decide the race. Democrats are running like their lives depend on it because it's actually pretty true. If Democrats want a shot at gaining a majority in the Senate in 2018, they absolutely have to dethrone Republicans today in Alabama. In order to do that, though, Democrats need to get minorities out to vote. It's estimated that Doug Jones would need more black votes than Barack Obama earned in either presidential election to pull out a win, something that is unlikely to happen given that Jones' name recognition isn't anywhere near as high as Moore's. 5. Democrats put Trump on the ballot and it could blow up in their faces. Senator Cory Booker campaigned heavily for Jones on Saturday, calling on minority voters to support the Democrat in his bid. That's important because one of the least kept secrets in Washington is that Booker is on the party's shortlist for presidential challengers in 2020. If Booker's push to drag voters to the polls in December fails, it could reveal that the progressive candidate's ability to drive votes pales in comparison to Barack Obama's. That's the short list of everything you need to know about today's race. Literally anything can happen, and nobody knows for sure how this will go. Stay glued to the Daily Caller's page for up-to-the-minute updates of the most important race in the world today. This is Philip Stuckey with the Daily Caller News Foundation.